You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey friends, it is a Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew. We are in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. This weekend, you're thinking about college football on Saturday, NFL football on Sunday. Great place to watch games, play table games like blackjack and poker in a smoke-free environment. Amazing food at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar with a brunch from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. 7 Mile Casino may be the place for you this upcoming weekend. So, hey, last night, I mentioned this to you guys yesterday. I got an invitation to go to the San Diego State basketball game last night. And for two reasons, I didn't go. Three. One was it was my girlfriend's son's 18th birthday, and I really wanted to be there for that event. Two, I assumed the tip-off was at 7 o'clock when in actuality the tip-off was at 7:30, and I didn't think I'd make it down there in time. And three, I didn't even really look at who they were playing. I kind of just thought these preseason games were just that. They were against teams that we wouldn't really have a whole lot of interest in. And I legitimately did not look at the schedule. So I get done with this dinner last night and I get into my car and I turn on the Aztec radio broadcast. And by the way, Uncle Teddy Leitner, if you are out there this afternoon and you're cruising around and you're listening, you're visiting one of your kids or one of your grandkids, or you're just, going down to Aztec basketball practice, whatever, Uncle, you sounded great on the radio last night. I mean, really great. And I want to just promote for everybody, if you haven't done this by now, this is a tremendous holiday gift. The book is called TED Talks. It's stories from Uncle Teddy. And I'll tell you guys that this book is being sold right now. You can find it wherever you buy books online. I suppose Amazon's probably the best place. The introductions from Bill Walton. There's stories from just about every media personality in San Diego in this book. It's called TED Talks, and it's a great holiday gift for somebody who loves Ted Leitner or the history of San Diego sports. But I'm listening to Ted last night on the radio, and he's describing that the Aztecs were down 39-30, but they ran off 11 straight. They had an 11-0 run, and they had taken the lead. But this turned into a battle back and forth between San Diego State and Arizona State. And I was like, wow, I'm really impressed that San Diego State and Arizona State are even playing each other this early in the preseason. Because, Grande, how many games had San Diego State basketball played prior to last night's game against Arizona State?
Two. They believe they beat UC Riverside, and then they lost to BYU. So they were actually threatening to go below 500 for the first time in who knows when.
I got to get myself back on the San Diego State basketball bandwagon here. I didn't even know they lost to BYU, and I'm not embarrassed to admit that to everybody. My focus has been on lots of other stuff.
Are you telling me November basketball doesn't really matter that much?
I'm telling you that the early part of the college basketball season isn't it usually like 3 or 4 or 5 games against like nobodies? Like usually San Diego State would play San Diego Christian or UCSD.
They don't this year.
Well, I'm saying, like, have they already played like 3 or 4 or 5 preseason tune-ups and now they're playing like real out-of-conference games?
Yes.
Wow, I'm telling you, I got to catch up to college basketball. I'm not hip to what's going on at all. So I didn't know that San Diego State lost to BYU, and I didn't know that they were playing Arizona State last night because it's just not on my radar yet. So I'm listening to this game on the radio, and I can't believe what I'm listening to. I mean, Ted is describing it as instant classic, like back and forth. And ultimately, San Diego State winds up winning the game by 2 points. Now, look, I don't know if Arizona State is a national powerhouse. I know they're not UCLA. They're not Gonzaga. We're not talking about Kentucky here. We're talking about a team from a Power 5 conference. So anytime a San Diego State or a Mountain West Conference team beats one of those teams, it's a good thing. It's not as unexpected as it used to be. But, Grande, you say you were watching the entire game last night. Tell me what you saw, because I was listening to it on the radio.
Yeah, I saw a team that I know nothing about that, like, every single year, I don't really keep tabs with their recruiting class and all that. I start watching in November, December. I get to know who's good. I recognize a couple of names from last year. Obviously, Nathan Mensah and Pulliam were on the team, but a lot of new guys were getting a lot of serious minutes yesterday. Defense and the ability to make a jump shot now is the difference between San Diego State and years past. If you remember, It was oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The kid that Malachi Flynn,
Yep.
that class of kids kind of really changed the way San Diego State plays. And I feel like now, yes, they play good defense, but they can also make a jump shot now, which is very nice.
So you watched the whole thing. Just again, it was 39-30.
Yeah.
Then it was 41-39. And the final score was like 65, 63, something like that. I mean, it was a really close game. It was a 2-point game. What happened at the end? What did I miss?
What do you mean? What do you miss? Like,
well, I kind of missed the last 20 points or so in the final score. So was it as back and forth? Was it as instant classic as Ted Leitner said?
I think I know San Diego State was down by 9. They went on like a 12-0 run. And then it just was back and forth after that. Lead changes, tie games, free throws. Like it was one of the games. You know how in basketball there'll be like 60 seconds left, and all of a sudden 30 minutes later the game's over.
Yeah.
It was one of those. There was about 90 seconds left in the game, and it was like 9:00, and I think this game finished like at 9:45. It was just back and forth, timeout, clutch shots being made by both teams. Arizona State was grabbing like every offensive board. It was one of those games where you just were assumed that State was going to blow it because they just couldn't grab an offensive rebound, and they pulled it off. Pulliam hit a running lay-in. It was a very nice shot, and yeah, dude, I don't know if it's instant classic, but it's a very good game.
You're saying to me, what do you want to know? Everything you just described is what I was looking to find out. I'm trying to find on goaztecs.com. I'm looking for their schedule. Because yeah, go ahead. Read off, or maybe you can put it up on the screen for everybody. Yeah.
I don't have it on the screen, but on your view tomorrow, they will be playing University of Texas Arlington. So like kind of one of those games that you were expecting, Scott,
Yeah.
And then I believe I think it's like one of the tournaments. I forget which
Oh, yeah, they're
one.
playing in the Wooden Legacy.
Right.
They're
So
playing
they take on
like USC.
They're taking on Georgetown.
Oh, really?
Georgetown. Yep.
In the Wooden Legacy?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I'm getting no. All right. Well, look here. Let me just say this.
You're confusing me right now.
No, hold on. Time out, everybody. Time out. I'm almost positive that they're playing in this Wooden Legacy tournament. What you're looking at right there in the schedule you have up is Tuesday of next week, right?
Thursday.
Right? I can't see it from where I'm sitting. It's just too small. This is a humiliating segment, just by the way, and I have no problem with it at all. Browner's doing the smart thing, which is keeping quiet because he doesn't have anything to contribute to this because he didn't watch the game last night. He didn't listen to the game, and he's as unfamiliar with the beginning of this college basketball season as I am. So credit to you, Browner. But I'm 99.9% sure that I keep hearing ads for this basketball tournament that's at the Anaheim Convention Center for it's USC, San Diego State, and two smaller programs.
That's the John Wooden Classic, yes.
Yeah.
Right. But it doesn't look like it's on the schedule there, Alex, that you have.
What do you mean?
You're
confusing the hell out of me, Scott.
So am
I'm just going to tell you right now that they're playing Georgetown in the Wooden Legacy Classic. Okay.
So
I don't know
that's where my mistake is, by the way. My mistake is I thought the Wooden Classic had 4 teams. I heard on radio San Diego State, USC, and I don't remember Georgetown being in that. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought it was 2 like smaller teams.
It's St. Joseph's and Georgetown.
So what happens
there's my
is
mistake. There you go.
Yeah.
They put the first game up because they don't know who the second game is. So unless the Wooden Classic is not more of a tournament bracket where the winners play each other the following day, you just play Georgetown and then the other team just plays the other team. They usually don't put the other game in there because they don't know who it is.
Well, but Alex is looking at the ESPN.com schedule for San Diego State. I'm on goaztecs.com. So they play Georgetown on Thursday night, that was my mistake. I didn't realize that Georgetown was at this event. And then the next day, Friday, they would either play USC or St. Joseph's.
Yes.
So there's where my confusion came in. So Grande, you'll have to
that's why the
me.
next game wouldn't be on the ESPN schedule. That's why the next game is like San Jose State or whatever the next game was.
I was just assuming that you were confused because you saw Michigan on there, and I thought you thought Michigan was in the Legacy. But if you remember, Michigan had a late pullout by a big team, and San Diego State took it late, so they're going to Michigan just as a one-off.
Right. So now
I'm
just looking at this.
Too many late pullouts.
Well, now I'm just looking at this schedule here. Early November, they played St. Catharines, San Diego State. Then they played UC Riverside. These are the warm-up games that I was thinking. But then they jumped right into BYU, to your point. They lost 66-60. Then they played Arizona State last night. They won 65-63. Alex mentioned that they'll play tomorrow night against UT Arlington, Texas Arlington. Then things are going to get interesting. So now I'm glad we're talking about this. And I have no problem doing this on the air, by the way. But I'm glad we're talking about this. As if you didn't know. Because Georgetown, then it's either USC or St. Joseph's. Then Tuesday of the following week after Thanksgiving, Long Beach State, Michigan, because you saw that on the schedule, Cal State Fullerton, St. Mary's, UC San Diego Christian. See, these are all the games that are happening in late December that I thought were going to happen in early November. And I haven't even looked at this schedule because they get into the conference schedule on New Year's Day. San Diego State plays against UNLV, then Fresno State, then Nevada, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, all of a sudden, I got to wake up. It's college basketball season, man. It's Aztec time.
If you're San Diego State, find a way to play Gonzaga, Oregon, Washington, UCLA, USC. Berkeley. Find a way to play these guys in the first 3 or 4 games of the season. Because at the end of the day, it only helps you. Nobody's going to judge you if you lose to them in the second game of the year if Gonzaga beats you by 5 or 10. Because guess what?
Gonzaga would never take that game.
Even not anymore, they wouldn't. I was up at Gonzaga several years ago when Kawhi played for San Diego State. I went to see San Diego State play at Gonzaga and won that game on the road. And it was incredible because, it's a very small packed gym at Gonzaga. But Gonzaga doesn't want the game with San Diego State. Yeah. UCLA would never give San Diego State.
Well, actually, UCLA took that game last year and lost, so they'll probably never give it to them again.
But did they play in a tournament or did they play?
But that's what I'm saying. Get it in a tournament format. Don't play them as me against you when you're building my building. Get them in a tournament. Get them at the Staples Center. Get them at a building at San Francisco, the building that the Warriors are playing in. Get in one of those kind of formats and play them in there. That way, it's a neutral site.
Did UCLA and San Diego State play last year in the early part of the season, or was it a tournament type?
The game? San Diego State Thanksgiving Classic.
Okay, so amazing that UCLA actually played them. It's funny because you got the Wooden Legacy tournament going on, and there's no UCLA in it.
Yeah, Yeah, dude. And then they played. Like I said, I know Arizona State is not some powerhouse basketball team, but I think anytime that San Diego State plays a Pac-12 team, they use it as a recruitment tool. Hey, we beat them in football, we beat them in basketball. I mean, even I have a clip. Brian Dutcher talked about how we're not a Pac-12 team, but we beat them, we recruit with them, we compete. It's everything is a Pac-12 team.
Let's take a listen to what Brian Dutcher said last night. This is after the game. Aztecs beat Arizona State. Here's what Coach Dutcher had to say.
Potentially says the Pac-12 better not invite us because we're pretty good. So, I mean, we're competitive and we're competitive recruiting. We're competitive in playing Pac-12 teams. And like I said, perception is not reality. The reality is we beat Pac-12 teams. We're competitive with Pac-12 teams. We recruit against Pac-12 teams. And even though we don't have the Power 5 conference label behind us, we're as good as those teams.
Well said, Coach. Very well said. Congratulations on a great night last night. And I'm glad we all just did that. I'm glad we just worked it all out. I thought UC San Diego and San Diego Christian were these early games in November. Turns out they're the games right around Christmas. December 22nd is UC San Diego. December 28th is San Diego Christian, probably because right around Christmas and New Year's, it's probably hard to find games.
Yeah. Nobody's going to come to you.
Yeah. Or people to watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, last night was the first sellout because of COVID and all these restrictions. Last night was the first sellout in almost 2 years. And it was a great crowd last night, man. It really was the show was in full effect. The arena was there was obviously some seats here and there, but it was nice to see Vegas. And they redesigned the court now. So they have Steve Fisher's signature on the court, this big Steve Fisher court thing. I don't know. I can't wait to get back in there. I'm ready to go back to Viejas Arena.
Oh, so you watched those games from the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bummed out. I got to say, I'm a little bummed out.
Because I wanted to. Oh. They haven't pissed me off yet.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they lose last night. They lose to Georgetown. They lose to Michigan. Maybe I'm tuning out, Browner, a la Lakers.
Okay.
I now have official FOMO from last night, because I had this great invitation. I had the seats right behind the bench, and I didn't look at who the opponent was, assuming it was just some preseason tune-up garbage. And I also had something else I had to do last night, but I'm a little jealous. I wish I would have gone to the Aztec game.
I'm not going to look like super far ahead, Scott, but I actually didn't realize that they played at UNLV on New Year's Day till you said it. That is the trappiest of all trap games of all time, dude. At UNLV, New Year's Day at 1 p.m.
Right. So New Year's Eve, you're in Vegas. Yeah, I know. That's funny. All right, let me have 1 minute, and then I'm going to move on to Aztec football since that's where we started today, and then I'm going to get into this Fernando Tatis baseball MVP thing. I want to remind all the dudes out there, guys, iThrive MD, you have until next week, and I'm going to assume that their office is closed on Thanksgiving Day. You have until next week to call and make an appointment, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. You have until next week to make an appointment to get the first 3 months of your testosterone treatments at 50% savings. $289 a month is retail value. You can get the first 3 months of testosterone treatments at 50% savings, $145 a month. You've heard me talk about testosterone for years. For those of you that have taken action, you know how great it can be. If you are feeling depressed or you have brain fog, you're just cloudy all the time, you're feeling weak, not motivated, you don't have any energy in the bedroom, you know who you are out there. Now, you guys have already listened to me and you've gone to iThrive MD. You're already taking advantage of this amazing deal. For those of you that haven't, what are you waiting for? It's $289 down to $145. Now's the time to do it. Go to ithrivemd.com/Kaplan or call 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. We get to Thanksgiving. This 50% savings deal is over. It's done. And while I know you think I'm full of crap saying to you that, well, it'll be back. No, it's not coming back. Like, the doctor did this. They wanted to get you in, get as many clients, new clients as they could by giving a 50% savings deal. When it's over, it's over. So if this hasn't motivated you to at least go get the free test and then take action, then you're probably not ever going to do that. But I want to encourage everybody to do it. 858-240-1497. Make an appointment. Get your testosterone checked for free. And if you need testosterone treatments, the first 3 months, you're saving 50% from $289 to $145. All right, so we're talking about Aztec basketball. And clearly, only one of the three of us is even into the start of the college basketball season. Not embarrassed to sit here on the air and look through the schedule and not know exactly what's going on.
You did a really good job of making me question myself, too.
Well, the thing is that a lot of people are driving around right now and they're in the same mindset that I'm in, which is this is football season. It's college football season. I started watching NBA basketball from the very beginning of the season. The baseball awards were all handed out yesterday. College basketball is way down on the priority list unless you're a monster college basketball fan. So for those of you that didn't know the same stuff that I didn't know, now we all know it together. But speaking of San Diego State, and we mentioned UNLV on New Year's Day, San Diego State, UNLV, tomorrow, college football. Is San Diego State going to get their 10th win of the season tomorrow? I would think so. San Diego State versus UNLV. Yeah, I mean, you lose this game. I mean, this is one of those monster upsets. But assuming San Diego State is significantly better than UNLV, Alex, maybe you put up the tail of the tape of these two teams.
Sure.
San Diego State should win this game going away. I mean, San Diego State is 9-1. UNLV is 2-8. And just every stat on the page tells you that San Diego State should win this game. Now, as our resident Aztec fan, Alex, are you nervous at all here?
You know what? Because they're only an 11-point favorite, I'm not. Because when Vegas puts them as 24, 28-point favorites, which we've seen in the past, they'll never cover that. So this is an appropriate spread to me. I was thinking this morning, well, I knew you were going to ask me about it, and I was thinking like 24-12, weird 24-13. I mean, some random little score like that makes sense to me. I think the defense will be able to shut down UNLV, and I think the offense should be able to score some points against this team. It could be one of those games where like Greg Bell rushes for like 175 yards. That's what I'm looking at tonight. Control the clock, run the ball all day. 24-13 Aztecs.
Game is tomorrow, and check me on this, but is it at 8:30 p.m.?
Game is tonight, sir.
Oh, it's tonight.
Yes.
Tonight, 8:30 on a Friday night.
Yes.
Wow. And they're playing where the Raiders played, Allegiant Stadium, which is now the new home of UNLV football.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay. 8:30 tonight. I'm trying to put myself where I'm going to be at 8:30 tonight. Because I can tell you tomorrow night. Brown, are you coming with me tomorrow night to see the Foos Fighters down at Music Box?
Yeah, dog. I told you I'm in, man. Just make sure I got a ticket.
Yeah, because Brent Wright, who is the guitar player from Foos Fighters, who was on the show yesterday, he was like, "Man, we're so excited to have you guys come down and come to the green room before the show." And I told him, I go, "Hey, Browner's coming too." So we'll communicate tomorrow. But that's where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be where I'm at.
I got be where I'm at, Brett.
I got a lot going on.
Time to rock and roll,
dude. Tomorrow I got a soccer game at Mesa College, a playoff game at Mesa College for my daughter's soccer team. Then I got the CIF finals of girls field hockey down in Chula Vista.
Yikes!
And I know. And then tomorrow night I'm going to go see the Foos Fighters down at Music Box San Diego. So that brings me back to tonight. Where am I going to be at 8:30 tonight on a Friday night when San Diego State plays UNLV?
Dude. You need an electric vehicle.
Dude, tell me about it. I've been driving so much recently. For someone who promised I'd never leave my house again, I'm serious. Like, dude, in the middle of COVID, I was like, I'll never leave my house again.
The worst lie you've ever told on there.
I know. All right, stick around. Let's get to this. We didn't get to it yesterday because it all kind of happened during the show, but Fernando Tatis, many of you thought he should be the MVP. Not everybody agreed, and Bryce Harper won it. We'll get to that story coming up.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio, the all-new and mightier 1090.
These are challenging times for our community.
The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter are here if you need help. We have hundreds of locations throughout the county where you can get help with food.
We have food.
It's okay to ask for help.
Visit one of our drive-through and walk-up locations.
We can also help you sign up for CapFresh.
If you need help or if you can help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
The journey to the Cup continues. Live on YourView.com, the Western Conference Finals. Watch Orange County SC host the San Antonio FC. Live Saturday, November 20th at 7 p.m. on YourView.com and 9 p.m. on YourView. The Western Conference Finals will be live at Championship Soccer Stadium. Let's pack the house. Tickets are available. Orange County SC versus the San Antonio FC. Saturday at 7 p.m. on YourView.com and 9 p.m. on YourView. Great Google and moving. Oh, yeah. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
Up to 30% of COVID-19 patients become long haulers with persistent symptoms months after the infection.
What I've been finding with my patients is that it's taking up to 3 to 6 months for them to recover their endurance, exercise capacity, and get them back to work or to their usual activities of daily living.
What I wasn't able to do was the basic needs, like brush your teeth, take a shower, because of the shortness of breath, the tightness in my chest.
The symptoms that concern me the most, the shortness of breath. So restrictive. You know, you go through and you just take for granted that, you know, you're gonna breathe. And when that gets taken away, it's a scary thought. Unfortunately, I'm 6 months out now from my diagnosis and I'm still suffering from several of the symptoms.
My experience with the patients I've sent to La Mesa Rehab has been extremely positive. The patients come back with good reports, and when I see them in the office, their exercise capacity has improved dramatically.
I'm getting there because of La Mesa Rehab.
To be homeless means that you've lost your community. East County Transitional Living Center, also known as ECTLC, is a community where we take homeless people off the streets and bring them into our community. We serve a little over 400 people, men, women, and children every day who were formerly homeless and now are in our residential programs. We work them through the program, we get them jobs, we get them back into life. We teach them basic things, hygiene, when to get up in the morning, how to do a 40-hour week. What we do here is we give them the opportunity for on-the-job experience. In their work therapy training, they're learning how to report to a supervisor, how to become a supervisor, how to be a good employee. You don't want to enable a homeless person to remain homeless, which means go feed them. So if you're out there and you see a homeless person and you want to try to help them, give to your local charity.
Hey, Dave Smith here. Make sure you listen to my show on the Mightier 1090, 6 to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night. The only local sports talk in all of Southern California on the weekends, right here on the Mightier 1090.
The all-new and Mightier 1090.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with a new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon. And by Prospect Home Finance.
San Diego State men's basketball rallied to beat Arizona State on Thursday night. ASU led 30-28 at the half and got out to a bigger lead to start the second half before SDSU went on a 12-0 run to claim the lead. The Sun Devils weren't out of the fight as they came back and cut the lead to 4 points before Lamont Butler and Adam Seiko made 3-pointers to stay in the game. Trey Pulliam put the Aztecs up heading into the final minute of play to help SDSU get the win 65-63. In the win, Butler had 14 points. Matt Bradley had 12 points for the Aztecs. Coming up on Saturday night, you can catch the Aztecs matchup with UT Arlington right here on YourView and streamed on YourView.com. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams. Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat. He's at the 40. Is he going to go? Goes, holds it in. What a catch. Return left sideline, off to the races. He splits the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. The journey to the Cup continues. Live on YourView.com, the Western Conference Finals. Watch Orange County SC host the San Antonio FC. Live Saturday, November 20th at 7 p.m. on YourView.com and 9 p.m. on YourView. The Western Conference Finals will be live at Championship Soccer Stadium. Let's pack the house. Tickets are available. Orange County SC versus the San Antonio FC. Saturday at 7 p.m. on YourView.com and 9 p.m. on YourView.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight. Powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, great friends, we welcome you back. This is Kaplan and crew, along with Grande and the Brown Man on a Friday afternoon from our home base in San Diego, broadcasting on the radio airwaves of 1090, San Diego, north into Orange County, north into LA County, north into Ventura County, and all the way up the Central Coast. Great friends, wherever you are in the mega market, we're happy to have you listening on the radio. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, I saw you guys yesterday. I know everybody was deeply involved in the conversation. Grande, you told everybody yesterday your hot take that mac and cheese is overrated.
Correct.
In fact, you even put that up on Cited. You created a Cited poll yesterday. I wonder if you can pull that up. We'll see what the voting looks like. But there were a lot of conversations yesterday in the YouTube chat about whether or not mac and cheese is in fact overrated.
I would
Many
like to
people
give a
agreed with you.
shout out to @skunk_puddle. He said it perfectly. Mac and cheese is a food for children, and children are certainly overrated. Couldn't say it better myself, sir.
Yeah, nice work, Skunk Puddle. Can you put that up on the screen for everybody? Because listen, you guys who are listening on radio, it's great to have you guys. For those of you that are on YouTube, you'll see all the stuff we're talking about. Radio listeners will describe it to you. Podcast listeners will describe it to you too. And then TV viewers, for those of you that are catching us on TV tonight, Channel 4 San Diego, Channel 4 Santa Barbara, 118 Orange County, and in LA. So for anywhere in Southern California, you can hear us on radio. You can catch up to us on TV. And Grande put this poll up yesterday. Is mac and cheese overrated? He posted it on Cited. You can use the Cited website, cited.co. I recommend that you download the mobile apps for either Apple or Google.
Check your alerts, dog. Dang.
What's going on, Browner?
Somebody need to check their alerts, bruh. 3:30.
Let me check their alerts.
The top right corner.
Notifications.
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't catch up to what you were talking about. Alex, you have 330 notifications on Cited?
Dang, bruh.
Dude, you don't check your notifications?
What if there's money in there?
Well, how about if it's like, what if it's like people following you on Cited, and then you would like see that they're following you and you could follow them back? I haven't even looked at the score. You took it off the screen. I was looking up at the
66% of people agree with Browner.
That's right. I don't
66
understand y'all.
Can I see it one more time? Just let me see this screen one more time here. 66% of people agree with Browner that mac and cheese is not overrated.
That's right. You know how many ways you can prepare mac and cheese, man? Mac and cheese is a very versatile athlete in the food game, okay? It can go off the dribble. It can step back. You know what I'm saying? It's like a tight end that can block and catch. Like, what's the problem?
Alex, if you put it back up, I see a lot of great friends that chimed in on this. I just saw you throw your hands up in the air. Like, what? I'm going to have to put this on the screen again? I wasn't done with it, man.
Well,
dude, give me a chance to play with it a little bit. Give me a chance to look at it. I saw my man Anthony Avila, who was up there at the top of the screen saying, no, man, mac and cheese is bomb. And then I saw Brian Burkett, who lives up in Santa Ynez. He's like, nah. Everybody's on Browner's side. Yeah. Bernard Thompson, Tommy, Bobby Roush, Harold. I mean, Anthony. Oh, there's Anthony Idol, the Neon Phenomenon. There you go. All right. So shout out to all you guys who jumped into this conversation.
I think the arguments are just kind of, I understand that it's a personal preference, and I'm not going to tell you that you are wrong, but I think the arguments saying like, oh, if you do like this 3 cheese blend, if you do, like Browner said, it's the most versatile food. See, the thing about it is, like, if it's good, it should just be good. Like bacon, you freaking grill it, it's good. You put it in the microwave, it's good. You don't need anything for it. Mac and cheese, you got to put like a bajillion cheeses. You got to put like like all this other stuff. Everybody has their own recipe. It's not good if you got to do all this stuff to it. If you got to like trick it out, it's not that good.
How many foods do you eat like that? Just straight up.
Most foods are good in and of itself.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yes, we are on the same page that most food, if the food needs extra on it, like if you got to put sauce on a steak, it's not a good steak.
Right. Like Brussels sprouts, another one, very trendy food, super trendy. But if you just boil Brussels sprouts or grill, like they're not good, right? Mac and cheese, if you put cheese, milk, and butter and pasta, it's not good.
Well, how are you eating, man? You know, Mama Padilla will be very upset with you right now. How many things did you go into Mama's kitchen and get that didn't have no nothing on it?
No, it's not that. No, nothing. I'm saying if you
Yes,
really,
it is.
No. All
See,
I'm
now you
saying
backpedaling, Mister. Now you backpedaling like a corner, okay?
No, I'm saying,
a
like, if you read all
corner,
the comments,
unlike mac and cheese.
If you read all the comments, if you listen to Scott's daughter, my bomb mac and cheese, like she's got to put every single cheese in there for it to be good. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it's called mac and cheese. It's not because it's called mac. It's mac and cheese, bro.
Yeah. You know what makes mac and cheese good?
Who dat?
Bacon. Bacon is good.
You know what, dude? It's like you were just saying about Brussels sprouts. Like I'm not a huge fan of Brussels sprouts, but if you put bacon and like honey and some kind of like balsamic drizzle of some sort, like they do at the Brigantine, then all of a sudden Brussels sprouts aren't really a vegetable. They're like a candy.
Because you know what's good? Bacon is good. Syrup is good. Balsamic is good. Like it's helping the thing that's not good.
If you everything has something in it. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's helping the thing that's not good.
This is a crazy conversation.
Oh my God.
I get it, dude.
Everything has something
I
in
get
it.
it. You like mac and cheese.
It's not just okay. Name something else you like other than bacon. Because it's not an argument. Everybody loves bacon.
Like, I don't know.
You can't name anything that doesn't have something in it.
An apple, watermelon, everything. I just named 4 other things. Balsamic vinaigrette, delicious. Honey,
I don't even know what that
delicious.
is.
Well,
butter,
all right,
delicious.
Listen, all I'll tell you is this: it seems overwhelming
Cheese on its own, delicious.
Yeah, seems pretty overwhelming though that everybody is disagreeing with me and Alex that mac and cheese is not that great.
All the cheeses that you need to make your mac and cheese good, just give me like strips of the cheeses individually, and I'll just munch on the cheese on its own.
What are you, a mouse?
Better than mac and cheese.
Listen, all right. Well, I can't wait till I see y'all out eating again. When we were at 7 Mile, I never see Scott say, no, just bring me chicken. Don't put none on it. Just bring me whatever this is. No. Everything he want. Oh, put a little bit of this on this. Put it in. You want something on everything. Now all of a sudden, mac and cheese ain't, the cheese is over it. Get out of here.
All right, well, hey, listen, Browner.
Agree to disagree.
Overwhelmingly, people agree with you. So if you go to cited.co or if you download the Cited app. Yeah. So, hey, listen, let me, that's true. That's true. It's not necessarily real life. Let me talk to you guys about what happened yesterday afternoon. And that is that the National League MVP was awarded. And in fact, before I even get there, I'll start with this. In the American League, Shohei Ohtani was like the overwhelming, unanimous MVP of the American League. Now, Browner, I know you don't think Ohtani's any good. You call him phony. You think that the Angels should be World Series champs if he's this great. But, you know, he's one guy who did something this past baseball season that none of us, not any of us who are here, none of us who are listening or watching right now, none of us have ever seen in our lifetime. Period. And there's never been anybody who has been a pitcher as successful as Ohtani and a power hitter as successful as Ohtani. We've never seen this before in our lives. And the Angels, just because they had the best player in baseball, it didn't exactly amount to a whole bunch of wins. Okay? Might next year, if Mike Trout comes back and if they get a bunch of pitching, maybe it'll amount to something. But it didn't this past year. But Ohtani, the unanimous AL MVP. Browner, you're a hater on Ohtani. Do you think he didn't deserve this?
I've said this from the very beginning. I thought what he did was impressive. But get me some wins, bro. You will have control of the mound and the batter's box. I needed to see more W's out of him. I'm not shocked he won this propaganda award. This award should be ashamed of itself this year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll flip over to the National League. Who?
Well, can I ask Browner a question?
Oh,
well, actually, no. Go to the National League.
All right. So here goes. So in the National League, Bryce Harper won NL MVP.
Travesty.
Who should have won it?
You know who should have won.
Who?
What you mean?
Who?
The great Fernando. What you mean? What kind of question is that?
Well, if Fernando Tatis won and Ohtani won, and the Angels didn't do anything,
neither did the Phillies,
and the Padres didn't do anything, then why is it such a travesty that Ohtani won?
No. When I speak of travesty, I'm speaking of Bryce Harper being the winner. The award in itself this year is a travesty because Bryce Harper, who went over his last 18, became the MVP. I don't know. I didn't hear nothing about no Bryce Harper this year. Maybe it's because I'm on the West Coast, he on the East Coast. That East Coast bias kicked in, man, real smooth. I didn't see no Bryce Harper jerseys around the country, and I'm watching regular baseball games. I saw Tatis jerseys, bruh. I'm sorry. Did I miss something?
So because some kids wore Tatis jerseys in other ballparks, he should have been the MVP?
With more home runs, more RBIs, with less games. Yep. Yes, sir.
See, that's sort of the interesting thing. That's the argument, Grande, is that Tatis put up more home runs, and we could take a look at the side by side. So more home runs, more RBIs in fewer games. But what might Tatis have done had he been available for the 30 or so games that he missed? Because his batting average wasn't better, and yet these guys had many more games and many more at-bats.
Yes.
So Tatis hit more home runs. Tatis had more RBIs. Tatis played in fewer games, and that's the argument for why he should have won MVP.
To me, in my opinion, that helps his case of why he should have won the MVP. I think what overall hurt him more than anything was the fact that his team flamed out. I think that hurt him more than anything. But look at this list. Who you taking tomorrow? You can honestly, I would debate Juan Soto, but other than that, no. I don't even know who these other two dudes is. I think I know who Trey Turner is.
My favorite part about Browner's argument is that it was totally washed out by the fact that the 6 finalists for the MVP, both American and National League, none of them made the playoffs.
What they got to do with anything?
Well, that's been your argument about Ohtani.
Yeah.
He don't win.
Right.
Well, neither did anybody else.
Nobody in the finalists won.
Right,
And the Blue Jays had 2 finalists for the MVP, and they didn't even make it.
So this goes to my question. If it wasn't about your team making the playoffs, it should have been statistically based. So how come he didn't win? Because Bryce Harper plays on the East Coast, and most of these baseball snobs are on the East Coast. That's why Juan Soto got more votes.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is this just purely about hitting statistics?
Is there any other statistics?
For most people,
yeah.
For most people,
yeah,
I
there's
think
other
it's about hitting
statistics.
Like what?
Well, how about defensive statistics?
That's what Golden Gloves are for.
So the MVP is not really about who's the most complete player in all of baseball this year. And the argument against Tatis, because here's how it goes. Look, in San Diego, we're living in this world where this is the guy.
Yes.
And so everybody wants their guy to win. And everybody in San Diego is completely convinced that this kid is the face of baseball. He's the best player in baseball, et cetera, et cetera. Now you go to the East Coast and you start actually doing the analysis and you say, okay, more home runs, more RBIs, fewer games, very impressive. Let's look at his defense. Okay, at shortstop, he did this, which, there were a lot of errors to his defensive game at shortstop. Then he moved out to the outfield. There were some errors out there too. Not saying that everybody plays perfectly, but I'm just saying that objectively speaking, not San Diego mindset, not we don't have anything here other than the Padres, not we finally have a superstar who's on the cover of a video game, who's got a whole bunch of swag, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about objectively looking at the season. You make the case for a lot of these guys. And the voters voted. And Tatis, with the great numbers, with fewer games, actually probably hurt him because the voters were like, well, he wasn't available for 30 or so games this year.
But if you're not available and you still have better production in 2 of the 3 main categories, what does that say about the year that you had? I get that he missed. I get that he missed time from injury, and you bring up the errors. It is far more difficult to make errors in right field than it is at shortstop because you're more involved in the game. You have more opportunities. There's more. Your percentage of error is higher in the infield than it is in the outfield.
Then he stopped playing shortstop.
He played way more innings at shortstop or games at shortstop than he did in the outfield.
Yeah. I think, can we just let's get down to the real reason here, boys and great friends. Let's stop messing around. Why does Tatis deserve to be MVP? Because he's our favorite player.
That's not
and
why.
we wanted him to win.
That's not why.
That's exactly why.
He was the best player in baseball, in my opinion.
So was Ohtani, but you didn't think he should win.
I didn't say. See, there y'all go. Y'all trying to paint me into a corner. I will repeat this again for the two people who are trying to make me out to some Ohtaniist. Okay, I have told y'all before. I repeat this again. He is a good baseball player. He is a good pitcher. He did his thing. He should be rewarded. But I need to see wins. That's all I said.
You don't need to see wins out of? How come you don't need to see wins out of Tatis?
Yeah, I don't get it. You're
'Cause he
making
ain't
the
pitching.
argument against yourself.
Good God.
He can't pitch and hit.
He was
Ohtani-
9-2 as a
Ohtani-
pitcher.
Excuse me?
He was 9-2 as a pitcher.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So if you 9-2, yeah, I need to see more wins.
Yeah, but he pitched in. I don't know what the total number of games were. His record was 9-2. I don't know how many. No, how many? 30,
Lots.
40?
Like 20. No decisions. Where them no decisions at? Talk about them no decisions if we're talking about statistics.
Well, I mean, how about games not played by Tatis?
Listen, man,
due to
if you
injury?
ain't tied to teach, just say it, bro. I know you probably thought Trey Turner should win the award.
No, actually, I don't really even care about these awards. I think it's ridiculous. And I think that the argument about these awards is so funny because, like, I'm one of these people who has no interest. I don't care at all. If Tatis would have won yesterday, I'd be like, good for him. That's awesome. Great.
Dope.
But I don't think, like, I'm just not into these awards or even these conversations. Like, the NBA season tips off, people start talking about who the MVP is. The first 2 weeks of the NFL season, people are already talking about who the MVP of the league is.
Tatis
Like,
wasn't a
I don't
finalist.
care.
Nobody would be having this conversation in San Diego. Nobody cares.
Right.
Like Ohtani won yesterday in Los Angeles, and nobody cares in San Diego.
Nobody. Nobody cares in Los
Nobody.
Angeles that Ohtani won.
Yeah, they only
'Cause
care.
we got our own MVP. We had our own MVP race. What y'all mean? See, this is what confuses me about y'all. This is what really confused me about y'all. You
Don't
guys are very
confuse me.
knowledgeable. You guys are very knowledgeable sports people. So when it gets to me that you're asking a question of how come we didn't care about Ohtani because we got Tatis. That's why we don't care about no Ohtani or phony. That's why we don't care because we got the face of baseball. They got the face of phony. Don't nobody care about them in Anaheim.
I just love how
LA.
right. I just love how your opinion about Ohtani is so opposite of your opinion of Tatis.
He great.
And yet the two guys have the exact same results. Ohtani had a great year as a pitcher and a hitter, and his team didn't do jack squat.
Right.
And Tatis had a great year as a hitter, in particular because he played in so many less games, so many fewer games than the other guys. But his team didn't do jack squat either. And yet you feel like this need to make Ohtani has to win. The Angels have to win for Ohtani to have any credit. But Tatis can be on a crappy Padres team and he gets all the credit. It just doesn't seem to make any sense to me. Alex, am I wrong? Am I not hearing this right? Or am I getting this
I
right?
don't know. Listen, I'm not going to argue with Browner. I'm just looking at, I think the fact is if you want wins, Ohtani got more wins than Tatis did as a pitcher.
That's not. All right, man.
Put up
He
the
pitched 23 games.
Mhm.
He had 14 quality starts. He got 9 wins. He had 3 ERA. And he's still hitting 46 home runs and 100 RBIs.
How
And you
many
wanna
games
call-
how many games was Tatis supposed to pitch? I didn't know this was
That's
a
the
thing.
whole point, dude, is that he doesn't pitch.
That's my whole point.
Exactly. So
Right.
Ohtani is better than Tatis because he pitches.
All right, well, get your Angels jersey out then, dog.
Not about
Get your
Angels jersey.
out.
Not about Angels jersey.
Right away. Right
Got
away.
more-
Angels jersey
Ohtani's
out.
got more stolen bases, more RBIs, more home runs, and only 60 at bats more. That's it. 60.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Get him
I'll
an
wear it.
Ohtani jersey.
I
wear
am.
Get me one too. I'll rock it.
I'll wear
I'll
it.
get both of you. I'm gonna get you a
Yeah.
Trey Turner jersey.
No, I don't need a Trey Turner jersey. I'd like an Ohtani jersey or an Angels hat.
The Angels are the king of MVP, by the way. Like that, if you better be careful, Padres. That's what you're gonna turn into with Tatis. You got 4 of the last 8 MVPs playing in Anaheim, and you got 0 playoff appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Better be careful.
Yeah.
Padres.
All right.
Padres are right now. The Padres are the Angels, Browner, and you don't like to admit it, but they are. Tatis
Just
is
with better
Ohtani.
pitching.
Tatis is Ohtani.
Where does this hate come from for you?
No
Because
hate.
you make me hate.
Your hatred for Ohtani turns into defense of Ohtani, which then turns into hate for Tatis, which I don't want to hate Tatis. I want to love Tatis.
I love Tatis.
I know.
Could
Love
have
him.
fooled me. Both of y'all. Coulda
But
fooled me.
I think just like at the end of the day, like I said, I wanted Tatis to win too. Why? Because he's my favorite player on my favorite team.
Yep.
Did he deserve it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Go
All right,
debate somebody else.
This segment of Kaplan and Crew is being brought to us by Corki's Pest Control. 1-800-901-1102 for Corki's, or as Corki's TV commercials say, just Google that one word. All you got to do is Google the one word. That one word is Corki's. Now, look, somebody sent me a picture yesterday of a Corki's truck in Orange County. And we always say San Diego, LA, or Riverside County. So I sent Corki an email, and I said, hey, are you guys in Orange County now? And he said, not for residential, but we are for commercial. So if you have a business in Orange County and you're concerned about termites, it could be a shopping center, it could be an office building, whatever the case may be. If you would like to talk to Corki's and you have a business in Orange County, Corki does business. He doesn't do residential in Orange County. So I just wanted to put that out there for everybody. You know that phone number. Call 1-800-901-1102.
Corki.
Nicely done. Very nicely done. Hey, coming up, it's a football Friday, and I'm going to start talking about the NFL. Let's take a look at the weekend that is coming up. We've looked at a little college football. We've talked some college basketball. We talked about some of the stories that are going on. Let's look at the weekend slate of action next. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter-to-soldier and help save more lives.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams. Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat. He's at the 40. Is he going to go? Holds it in. What a catch. Return left sideline. Off to the races. He flips the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Your View and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Save the Storks. Help us reach the hearts of women with compassion, education, and holistic care. Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
San Diego State men's basketball rallied to beat Arizona State on Thursday night. ASU led 30-28 at the half and got out to a bigger lead to start the second half before SDSU went on a 12-0 run to claim the lead. The Sun Devils weren't out of the fight as they came back and cut the lead to 4 points before Lamont Butler and Adam Seiko made 3-pointers to stay in the game. Trey Polium put the Aztecs up heading into the final minute of play to help SDSU get the win 65-63. In the win, Butler had 14 points, Matt Bradley had 12 points for the Aztecs. Coming up on Saturday night, you can catch the Aztecs matchup with UT Arlington right here on Your View and streamed on yourview.com. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the Mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and Mightier 1090.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those afflicted by chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Learn more at LaMesaRehab.com.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us and sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website,
SDSUfoundation.com.
Watch your San Diego Aztecs take on the University of Texas at Arlington Mavericks. November 20th at 7 p.m. live from the Viejas Arena.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio, SoCal Sports Talk.